Hi, today is October 26, 2024, and here are my poems for the day. The first one is poem number 1663 for the year, Bathroom Cabinet with Fake Wood Paneling. This morning, the bathroom cabinet said to me, "In your apartment, you've got good wood floors and 3 fine wooden chests of drawers and a table made of wood. You've got many things made of wood, so maybe you should be grateful, because maybe it is good that my wood paneling isn't real, because it will remind you that you are a phony, that you are not the real deal." I thought that was a wholly unnecessary thing for the bathroom cabinet with fake wood paneling to say to me, but I have to admit it woke me up. Poem number 1664, Authenticity. In this morning's meditation, I contemplated the nature of my authenticity. Descartes helpfully established that I can know I am real because I am aware of my thoughts. But my concern is with a different meaning of the word real, because the bathroom cabinet really got to me. I could say I'm probably no more authentic or less authentic than anybody else, but I think that begs the question. I guess where I'm going to land is here. Most days I feel authentic enough, and on days like today, when I feel less so, I can tell myself that the feeling will pass. But I may just have to replace the bathroom cabinet. Poem number 1665, Joke or Treat. Yesterday evening at around 7, some little shit rang my doorbell and said joke or treat. The little bastard wasn't wearing a costume, and Halloween isn't until next fucking Thursday, so I asked the little fucker what the fuck he was talking about. "On the Friday before Halloween," he said, "you give out candy or I tell you a joke." I didn't have any candy, so the little scumbag told me a joke. "What's the difference between Easter and Halloween?" I didn't ask, but the little asshole told me anyway. "On Halloween, you have to make sure not to put all your eggs in one casket." I closed the door, shuddering, and promised myself that next year I would make sure I have plenty of candy by mid-October. Poem number 1666, Dominion. There is something kind of regal about living on a somewhat higher floor. Yes, I can see plenty of taller buildings and acknowledge that there are people living on higher floors than me, but it can't be denied that most of the apartments that I see are on lower floors, and the people in them live below me. I could stand naked and look out the window and say to them all, "Kneel before Zod." Or I could do that with clothing on. Probably no one would kneel, but that is not proof of my lack of dominion. My home is my castle, and I am a man in a pretty high castle, and if I want to pretend I am king, then I will. Perhaps I ought to order some kingly robes. Poem number 1667, Enough Foolishness. That is enough foolishness for one day, they told theirself. "Yeah, but is it really?" the self replied. "Maybe not," they said. "Maybe I was being foolish when I said that was enough foolishness." "Maybe you were," said the self. "Okay then," they said, "shall I turn myself into a duck or a chicken?" "A chicken," said the self, "a pink chicken with purple polka dots, and then put on some polka music and jump up and down on a pogo stick." And so they did all that, and then said to the self, "That is enough foolishness for one day." And the self had to agree. Poem number 1668, Poem Delayed. The final poem of the day, number 1669, took so long to arrive that I finally was like, fuck this, and I went down to Moynihan Station so that it would be with me as soon as it got off the train from Elizabeth, New Jersey. And I was there in plenty of time, but then I was like, where the fuck is it? And then I realized that the New Jersey transit trains arrive at Penn Station, not Moynihan. I crossed the street and entered the station, and number 1669 was there and was like, "I've been here for 4.5 minutes. Where the fuck were you?" And I was like, "I'm sorry." But later I was thinking, if that fucking poem had just left Elizabeth earlier, then we wouldn't have been in this situation in the first place. And the last poem of the day, poem number 1669, Poem Denied. "A poem delayed is a poem denied," the little children cried. But the poem arrived and recited itself, and the eyes of the children dried. "A late poem is better than a never poem," the wisest of the children said, and the rest of them had to agree, and soon went off to bed. All right, that's it. Thank you. I appreciate you.